Well, I mean, that's the problem with government-run healthcare in England. And you can pull this up, BBC. They're now putting newborns on list, basically probation. And at age 2, they start having physical meetings with them if their parents have, quote, bad DNA, if they were ever involved in crime. And I have the head of the Texas Psychiatric Association before the state board. And Susanna Hupp, the state rep, says, doctor, to the psychiatrist, not even really a doctor, but he calls himself that. She says, doctor, why are more than 2/3 of children in foster care on psychotropics? I have this in my film Endgame. And he says, well, that's easy. They come from bad gene pools.
Right. And this is exactly what you read in the eugenics literature in the 1920s and 30s in this country. And you read it in the 30s in Nazi Germany. They used the same justification.
Well, that's what they announce here. They actually brag that they're going to take over real MD, real Western medicine, and replace it. We already see it with the troops. When they get hurt, they just give them Prozac, and they're saying, we're just going to give you shots that cure your brain. I mean, this is a hostile corporate takeover, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is a union of mega industry, international industry and government. Which is the new socialism. The old socialism was government would take over the companies. Now the new socialism, no, we'll work together for the same utopian goal. So this is what you're seeing. International corporations are working with government to implement these draconian totalitarian plans.
Well, Dr. Blaylock, I'm not going to keep you any longer. We always appreciate it when you join us, but you have a lot of solutions, a lot of ways to at least partially reverse the toxicity that we've been exposed to, a lot of key information at BlaylockWellnessCenter.com. What are some of the things we'll find at the Blaylock Wellness Center?
Well, it has the books I've published on this. The book Health and Nutrition Secret has a chapter on fluoridation that people need to read. It goes through the whole history and the medical findings. And the devious tactics that they've used. And it has some DVDs I've done, interviews, a lecture on nutrition and behavior. So it has a lot of material in there. You can link to my other website, which has the published papers I've written, the papers I've told you about, the immunoexcitotoxicity mechanism, which are free access. You can have those.
Well, doctor, in closing, what we've done here is, with our family doctors and with everyone, Rob Dew has done this, one of our camera guys, we just bring them your books, other scientists and researchers' books. We bring them the medical literature, and we say, we're not vaccinating our children. And by the way, fluoride's deadly. Here is stuff written by top doctors. And you come back a month later, and they're converted. You can't just sit there and say, oh, the government's poisoning that to make me serve them. I mean, because they've been preconditioned that that's kooky. You bring them a stack of books and news articles promoting lithium in the water and promoting vaccines that re-engineer the brain, they will wake up. And so even if you know all about this as listeners, you've got to warn everyone you know. You've got to get Dr. Blaylock's info out. So go to his website, buy the books, the DVDs, have showings at your church, have viewings. Dr. Blaylock, is it okay for listeners to say air your DVDs on Access Television?
Well, my son sells them, so I can't.
No, I understand. You can't speak for somebody else who's got that going. The point is, it's important to have people see these.
Yeah, it is. And, I have a newsletter as well that updates things continuously. You can get it through my website, russellblaylockmd.com. But you can link to the newsletter, which comes out every month, and I update it with all sorts of new information.
Well, I have to say, we've interviewed hundreds of doctors and scientists here, but you're one of the most informed, and you have a lot of courage. And, of course, you're just going off the facts. I mean, why is it called courage to know your fellow humans are being attacked and to not stand up and speak out against what's happening?
Exactly. I mean, we have no other choice. This is the end of the game. There's no more leeway. They think they won it, and they're going to push hard. So unless we push back, we're going to lose everything, and it's irreversible. Once they win, and completely suppress us and change our brains, there's nothing we can do. So this is our last opportunity. And I push people to look into this nullification, get the book Nullification by Thomas Woods, and read it. Our last hope.
Absolutely. We also have a DVD that I'm in, put out by Gary Franchi and William Lewis, called Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. And it's really a kind of a video version similar to that book, with sheriffs and state reps and myself, how to take the sheriffs, the counties, the states back. And that's why the feds are moving so hard to block it. They understand that's their Achilles heel.
Oh, absolutely. And they should watch your tape.
Well, Dr. Blaylock, you've been so helpful. I want to say bye to you during the break, and we'll let you go. But BlaylockWellnessCenter.com. It is so important for people to get that material. Also get my film, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. As Dr. Blaylock said, this is the endgame. My film shows the globalists' own statements and their own documents that they want to suppress you and dumb you down to where you can't fight back, to then go into hot kill weapons where they just release plagues that wipe everybody out. And you know, in closing, Doctor, you've read their documents. I mean, they say they want to get rid of 80% of us.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's the big plan. And that was the plan during the French Revolution. People don't know that. If you read the documents of the French Revolution, they had planned to destroy 80% of the population. Then the elitists would have all the land and all the farms, and they'd rule.
Yeah, they wanted a 10-day work week. They wanted to change it to like 9 months a year. They wanted to end the family and basically raise humans. They described it as, you know, like taking children from their parents, like you take eggs from a hen. Orwell actually quoted the French Revolution, and they were crazy occultists who thought they were God. I mean, you can't make up history, folks. You can't make up stuff this weird, and they're poisoning your water and food. Dr. Blaylock, God bless you.